Hey guys, Joe here, and here I'm going to be talking to you about if you should buy Splatoon. This will be a first impressions and a should you buy, so hopefully you'll be able to learn some stuff. I'm going to be talking about the single player, multiplayer, equipment and items, some guns, and some annoying stuff within it like switching gear. So we'll go over all that and hopefully it'll be worth it. And in my opinion, it is worth buying Splatoon, but let's go over all these things so then you can know for yourself. So for the single player, it is a 3 to 5 hour long campaign if you don't go for any of the collectibles, and if you go for the collectibles it's 5 to 9 hours depending on how good you are, and it depends if you're like kind of cheating by looking on the internet to find where all the stuff is. It's not way too long, but it does have a Mario Galaxy reminiscent single player, which personally I do like quite a bit. The single player is not very difficult. Some of the platforming can be a little bit hard, but it is pretty easy overall. I do really enjoy it though. It's one of the funner single players that I have played in a while. Personally, I don't really like single player games, so for this being very fun for me was kind of a first. Not very hard, but if you don't want just a very fun single player or a casual single player, this will be a good one. Also, the plot isn't too great, but you won't be coming here for the plot. Now, the multiplayer is the bulk of this game. This is probably why you'll buy the game, and this is a very good reason to buy the game. So with the multiplayer, personally, you can play it by yourself, or you can play it with friends, and soon you can play it with ranked, and I hope that sometime they will add some more game modes, which I'll talk about later. But the main game mode is pretty much one where you have to run around, shoot the ground, get the most land, and you win. So that's pretty much it. There's no reason to kill the opponent, which kind of does suck. I mean, when you kill the opponent, they will have to wait 3 or 4 seconds, then they can just teleport back in. So it kind of gets rid of a little bit of the reason to kill people, which is the thing that I hate about Turf Wars. But it's not way too bad. Also in Turf Wars, a few guns are a bit overpowered, but that does kind of carry over into ranked, where some of the other guns that were bad in Turf Wars are now good. So it's kind of a switch off, which is very nice. So now, other than Turf Wars, which is definitely one of the best things, Turf Wars, by the way, you can play with your friends, they can join you, and it is very enjoyable. If you haven't played Turf Wars, give it a try. It's probably the best mode as far as there is so far. But for the ranked mode, it's pretty much capture the control points. You have to shoot it, control it, and then the timer goes down. This is a lot more intense, and a lot more weapons are actually viable, because in Turf Wars only like 4 or 5 are actually usable. But in ranked, pretty much every item is usable. Maybe a few aren't that good, but you can use more, and kills do actually matter in this because it counts down in the middle, so it's not really all up to the very end. Definitely ranked is probably the funner mode in my opinion, but Turf Wars is the funner mode if you have 4 characters. And by 4 characters, I mean 4 friends that you are playing with. So overall, multiplayer is pretty fun. It's definitely one of the funner multiplayers, and if you're looking for a fun multiplayer game, this will probably be worth it. Now, it does cost $60, which can seem very high, but I'm sure it'll go down soon, and it's just overall a very fun game. One thing to talk about, there are only 5 maps, and you can only play 2 at a time, which they do switch off every 4 hours, which is a bit annoying. They are adding 4 maps, though, in the next DLC, and the DLC is all free, and they're adding more guns, so there is a lot of free DLC, and I'm guessing they're going to have multiple DLC packs, so it's a really good thing, and it'll probably be worth your money overall over time. And let's get to the equipment now. So with the equipment and items, they're all pretty cool. Now the problem I have with them is that there's pretty much only going to be one set that you're actually going to use, because once you have all the equipment fully upgraded, you just kind of have to hope that you're really lucky, and then you'll get pretty much level 1 of all the different special powers or power-ups. I don't know what they're actually named yet. And then that's pretty much the best thing, because when you have 2 of the same thing, they don't stack very well, so pretty much you'll want 1 of everything across the board, which, yeah, it's kind of annoying that you want that. But early on with the items and equipment, it does kind of matter. Luckily though, the item and equipment isn't extremely overpowered, so you can play a level 1 versus like a level 20, and it'll be pretty fair. The level 20 will of course have a little bit extra defense, a little bit extra attack, but it's not really noticeable enough to matter way too much. It does matter, but it's not really like win or lose. So the item and equipment I feel is pretty good balance. Also, you can talk to this guy named Spike and steal other people's items. What you will not steal their second parts, they won't steal their special things, which can be a little bit hard. And when you want to unlock the specials, which I'll try to have in the video behind, it can be hard because it is luck based and it will not be the same every time. So it's a little bit annoying, but the equipment is pretty fun and it's done pretty well. For the guns, which you could say is also equipment, this is really where the game shines. Now, there aren't really guns, it's more of a class type system, which is really fun in my opinion. There's 20 different guns, which all have barely different stats, well, depending. So pretty much there's sniper rifles, and then there's the rollers, and then there is, of course, the regular guns, which are pretty much like machine guns. Then there's also kind of like a pistol type class, whatever, that kills really fast. So those are all pretty nice. They do exactly as they sound. Some have a little bit more attack, some have a little bit less, some have more firing speed. For Turf Wars, you want the highest amount of firing speed, that's all that matters. But for single player and for playing on the ranked game, you kind of want a little bit more damage, so take that as you will. Also rollers and other things just with a lot of attack speed pretty much, they're just very good on Turf Wars, which will be a very nice thing. Now with the guns, you can play single player, unlock some scrolls, so then you can unlock more guns, and by more guns I mean more gun classes, so you can have different secondaries. And now that we're on the topic of that, there are secondaries and kind of like, I don't know what you want to call them, like combo or Splatoon combo things, which once you get enough land you can press the R button and then it'll use a special power. They're very strong and very good. But the other thing I was talking about is the button where you just have a secondary. That's actually the R button. The combo is actually pressing in on the right stick, which is the really strong one. But when you press the R button, it'll send out your secondary. Some secondaries are really good, like this wall that makes you pretty much invincible, but some are pretty bad, like the timer bombs. So really it'll depend on your secondary. The different classes just have different secondaries, but the same attack. They're called custom classes. So hopefully that isn't way too confusing. Also have to have some footage of that. It is a bit confusing, but if you see some footage, it should help quite a bit. Finally, some annoying things about this game. Once you join a lobby, your friends can't immediately join you, so you do have to have your friends wait 2 or 3 rounds to actually join you, which is really annoying. When you turn on the game, every single time you turn it on, you have to watch the annoying Squid Sisters, which hopefully they'll make so you can skip that also. Also, a really annoying thing is, you have to exit out of your game if you want to change your weapon. You can't change it in between games, which is super annoying. You can't change your weapon sets, so oh, that's just the most annoying thing. So you have to leave, and then you have to rejoin your friends, and oh, it's just terrible. So if they patch that, which I'm guessing that they will because a lot of people are patching that, then I feel like there'll be pretty much nothing bad about this game. Overall, it's a very fun game. I've gone just over the top of this game, so if it does sound fun to you, and I know I have been talking very fast, so it's a bit confusing because I want this done pretty fast, but if it does sound fun to you, I would recommend it. This is personally one of my favorite games, probably under Smash Brothers I'd put this, or Monster Hunter. Really fun game with only a few little nitpicky things which aren't way too bad. So if you do have the money, I would recommend you buy it. And just to say, I'm going to be playing some fan games, so if you ever have this game, play with me, we can play some fan games, have a bit of fun. So thank you guys for watching. I hope that you decided if you wanted this game. There are a little bit annoying things in this game, but overall, if you like third-person shooters, this will be the game for you.